All right, the other two games from our big three, really not that interesting, to be quite honest. Oregon beats Michigan 38-17. Michigan hung around in this game for a little bit, and then it felt like Oregon, when they really decided to put the pedal down, were able to pull away, especially late. Late cover for those of us that had Oregon minus 14 in the hook. We appreciate that. SMU, as of recording, I don't think they'd gone final yet. At least
it's going final right now. They just took the final knee. 48-25 was the final.
Okay. So Pitt came back just a little bit, but a dominating effort from the Mustangs. Trey, which of these two games did you find more intriguing? Do you think the bigger storyline comes out of? I'll let you run with it.
Well, Oregon was impressive. If you take out the third quarter, I don't know what it is about the third quarter with Oregon. They just don't seem interested in scoring points or being the dominant team they are the other three quarters. And that's kind of holding them back on some of these big spreads. But I was impressed with their offense in the first half, especially just from the word go. They were ready to go. Michigan hung around a little bit, kind of like I thought they might, but going forward on fourth down towards the end of the game, set up Oregon for kind of the clinching touchdown for the cover. Yeah, I mean, it was a business-like approach for Oregon on the road. They're not doing things extremely flashy, and when you kind of struggle in the third quarter, it's not going to look that great on the scoreboard, but they're getting stuff done on the road. They're winning all the games they should, and now you look up and they have maybe one more challenging regular season game this year. They have Maryland at home, at Wisconsin, who got blitzed by Iowa today, and then Washington at home in the end of the year in a rivalry game. But again, it's at home. So looking like they're going to be penciling themselves into that one spot, at least going into the Big Ten championship game.
Mm-hmm. Oregon able to run the ball for 176 yards. At times, it felt like Michigan was pushing the Ducks around in the trenches, but you look at the numbers, 105 yards on 28 carries. That's just under 4 yards a pop. Oregon kind of right at the beginning of the game and then late as they were salting it away, they really stiffened. They didn't allow Michigan to pick up those crucial yards on the ground.
It felt a little bit like the Texas game for Michigan, right? Like it was like Oregon started fast and just clearly had better athletes on the field than Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Michigan looks slow. At times, Michigan looks slow. Trayshawn Holden, there were a couple of replays of him just literally blowing by the corner. Trayshawn has a big day, six receptions for $149. One thing to watch for the Ducks, Tez Johnson left that game with an injury, I do believe, just one catch for 11 yards. He was gone pretty early. For Michigan, it feels like Davis Warren had maybe his most complete game, 12 for 21, 164 yards, 2 touchdowns. Both of those touchdowns were balls that felt like he pressed the wrong button almost. I mean, he threw those into double and triple coverage in the end zone, threaded the absolute thinnest of needles. But shout out to him. He kept his team in it. Colson Loveland has a big game as well, 7 for 112. Oregon's 9-0, 6-0 in the conference. Michigan's 5-4. They are legitimately fighting to go to a bowl game at this point, which is just so tragic. I mentioned the offensive struggles for Penn State. The play calling by Sharon Moore and that offensive staff, especially late as they were trying to stay in it, they're trying to force their hand. Really, really bad. 4th and goal from inside the red zone. I've forgotten exactly where they lined up, but they run a trick play that just had no chance of succeeding whatsoever. Good coverage by Oregon. The better team certainly steamrolled to a victory late in this one.
Gracious, how about